Hey there everyone, welcome back to another video presentation on CSEC Information Technology past paper, and the topic that we're looking at still is a problem solving and programming from the syllabus. The year paper that we currently have working with is the January 2021 past paper. So let's get right into it. For this first question, 3G, they presented us with a pseudocode question, and we're expected to fill in the blank to complete the pseudocode. All right, so the background is that the pseudocode will calculate and output the number of participants and the average age of all the participants attending the ICT symposium. The algorithm will terminate and display the output when an age of 999 is entered. All right, so we must complete the fill in the blank space by using the appropriate variable names as well as the reserved words. They started a portion of the code for us, so after the initialization or the assignment of values have been completed, right, we're seeing a prompt here asking the participant to enter their age. So what term is normally in sync with prompt? And in our case, we're using the right. All right, so the user see this prompts, they enter their age, and then the computer read that age. After they enter the age and the computer does its thing, it now wants to determine to say, while the age is not equal to what value, what should we do? All right, so what was the value that they gave us? The value was that it terminates at 999. So while the age, this represent not equal to, while the age is not equal to 999, the keyword that goes with the do would end this line, right? So while the age is not equal to 999, do the following instruction or actions that follow. Calculate the total, we receive the entirety of that. To find count, it would have been count plus the value 1, because we're counting every participant that enters an age, and then we were also expected to find or calculate the average participants. All right, following that, the user is then provided with another prompt asking them to enter the age or to enter 999 if they want to end the program. In this case, the fact that they're asking for the value for age, we would again read age. All right, following this, I believe we have come to the end of the while loop. So as long as the age is not within the value 999, all of these would have taken place, and then we can safely end the while loop here. All right, following that, we were asked to provide two outputs. So the first one, they want to output the number of participants, and the number of participants would have been under the variable count. All right, and then to also output the average age of participant, that variable name was called average. All right, following that, we have come to the end of our program, so we could just stop right here, and that would have amounted to 10 marks for this question 3G. Moving on to question number 4, it says BI, outline the function of the loop construct in computer programming. What is the loop? What is the purpose of it? So we know that loop means that some form of repetition is taking place. So in general, the loop construct, right, would be responsible to carry out a set of instructions repeatedly until a certain condition or a specific condition is met. All right, so the function of the loop construct is to carry out or execute a set of instructions repeatedly until a certain condition is met. All right, and that would provide our 2 marks. The next one says to state two distinguishing features for each of the following. So they give us a while loop and a repeat loop. What is it that we know about a while loop? What is it that we know about a repeat loop that kind of make the two different? So we know, for example, the first for the while loop is that once the condition, well, the condition is tested at the beginning of the programming. All right, so condition is tested at the beginning, and we know that for the repeat, the condition is tested at the end. A second distinguishing feature is that for the while loop, the program continues to loop as long as the condition is true. All right, so program loops continuously as long as the condition is true. And then for the repeat loop, the program loops continuously as long as the condition is false. All right, and that would give us a total of 4 marks. Next, C is saying that you are hired as a programmer by Stenet Marketing Company to write a pseudocode for a supermarket. This pseudocode would be presented to the company before the source code is written. The requirements of for the pseudocode are as follows. So these are the requirements. The first is to prompt the cashier to enter the price and quantity of items. Following that, they must calculate the discount amount at 5%. So the discount amount at 5%, that is calculated if the total is greater than 500. However, if the total is not greater than 500, then the discount amount is calculated at a 10% rate of the total. After all of that, the program should output the total and the discount. All right, so prompt, we know that we would use the key term or the reserve word, right? So I guess we can start off with the start, and then following that we can prompt the user. So write, what is the message? Enter price and quantity of items. All right, following that, the user sees this prompt, enters the price, so the computer would then read the price as well as the quantity. All right, so that would have been line 1. Line 2, before we can proceed to start doing any calculations for discount amount using the total, we would have to first find the total. So total would have been equal to price times the quantity. All right, and now we can get into the if statement. So for second line, we want to find out if the total is greater than the value 500. So if total greater than 500, then what is it that should happen? We want to find a discount, and the discount amount would be the 5%. So discount equal total times 0. So we're converting this to decimal placement. All right, so discount would have been total times 5%. This would have been carried out if the total was greater than 500. However, if the total was not greater than 500, what would happen? So else discount would be the third line would be equal to total times 0.10. All right, following that, we are through with the end if. So we only had one, so end if, and then from here they want us to output the total and the discount. So we would write total, comma, discount. And that would have given us our marks for that part. Part D says to write the pseudocode using nested if statements to do the following, right? So if mark, so they want to test for a variable called mark. If mark entered is greater than or equal to the value 70, then we should display the statement to say grade A. However, if the mark is entered is greater than or equal to 60, then we should see grade B printed out. If it is that it did not meet any of these two criteria, then the other marks would have been matching an output called grade not available. So now we can proceed to do this. All right, so I guess we can use our start, and then the user would see a prompt, so we can continue to say that the computer was able to read mark, right? After the computer was able to read mark, it now wants to test if mark is greater than or equal to the first value, which was 70. So if mark is greater than or equal to 70, and you realize that we use a symbolic form instead of the word. All right, so if it is that, then what should be printed out, right? So it would be write grade A. All right, if not, we have a second if statement to write. So we're not through, we have two more. So write that if it is greater than or equal to 70. If not, we would have another else. So else, E-L-S-E, else if, which one are we testing now? The one that is greater than or equal to 60. So if mark is greater than or equal to 60, then what should happen? We should print out a grade B. So write grade B. Otherwise, we only have one result left, so we wouldn't use another else. We wouldn't use another else if we'll just have the else to say that this is the final one. So else, what is the result? Write grade not available. All right, so following that, how many if statement do we need to close? 1, 2. So we wrote 2 if statements, so we end both of them. So end if, end if. All right, and that would have allotted us a total of 5 marks. So this is technically the problem solving programming questions from this year paper. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and I ask that you share this video with someone who you know could benefit from this information. Again, thank you very much for watching, and do enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.